Good, happy Wednesday morning and happy hump day, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Wednesday morning edition of The Morning Show with Riley King. It's time to rise and shine and grab a good cup of coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy this Wednesday morning edition of The Morning Show with Riley King right now. Let's begin. First up, high stakes Wisconsin primary results. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
This ring is a commitment. After we got married, I got very sick. He would come every day to help me walk again.
The former president who did notch a victory overnight, the candidate he backed for governor in Wisconsin beat the one endorsed by former Vice President Mike Pence, while a House Republican who voted to impeach Trump lost her primary. Rachel Scott is tracking it all and has the latest on all these big races. Good morning, Rachel.
Cecilia, good morning. It was another test of Donald Trump's influence over the Republican Party, and these primary results are another reminder of how the former president is tightening his grip. So let's start in Wisconsin with one of the most watched races of the night, the Republican primary for governor. Trump and his own vice president, Mike Pence, had dueling endorsements, but it was the Trump-backed candidate, construction CEO Tim Michels, that became the projected winner. He has pushed Trump's false claims about the 2020 election. He has not even ruled out trying to decertify the results. He will go on to face the Democratic Governor Tony Evers in November. And in Washington, a major defeat for one of the 10 House Republicans that voted to impeach the former president. Congresswoman Jamie Herrera Butler has officially conceded her race. She is now the third House Republican that voted to impeach that has lost their primary. In Minnesota, it was a win for progressives. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar survived her Democratic primary, fending off a more moderate challenger. And in Vermont, the state now has its eye on history. After Tuesday's results, they're on a path to send a woman to Congress for the very first time. Cecilia, the midterms now just 90 days away.
Oh, but who's counting, Rachel? Not us. Thanks, Rachel.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Muslim man arrested, linked to deadly ambush of 4 Muslim men. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
A break in the killing of 4 Muslim men in New Mexico. Police say a primary suspect has been charged with the killing of 2 of those men. Alex Prechet is there in Albuquerque with the latest on this one. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Cecilia. Police have stressed the importance of tips from the public in this investigation. And this morning, they are saying it was a tip from this tight-knit Muslim community that ultimately led to an arrest.
This morning, authorities say they have the man responsible for multiple murders in Albuquerque's Muslim community as we learn more about the end to their urgent manhunt.
This crime made our community feel like it was under attack.
With assistance from the FBI, police arresting 51-year-old Mohammed Saeed Monday night after a tip led them to the suspect's house.
We saw him load into a vehicle we believed that was used in the homicide, and we followed him.
They say they found multiple firearms linked to the murders, one inside that dark silver Volkswagen, another inside the suspect's home. The alleged gunman charged with the murder of 41-year-old Aftab Hussein and 27-year-old Mohammed Afzal Hussein. Law enforcement say they believe he knew both and that he had a conflict with the men that led to the shootings. Authorities said they are also looking into possible charges for the murder of 2 other Muslim men, Naeem Hussein and Muhammad Ahmadi. Muhammad Ahmadi's case has been unsolved since his death in November of 2021, and Naeem Hussein, who had just become a citizen, murdered just last Friday.
Hopefully this would be the beginning of the end to this whole few weeks of terror.
All 4 victims killed in what police describe as ambushes. Authorities believe the suspect came to the U.S. in the last several years. He had prior arrests for misdemeanors, including domestic violence, but in each case, charges were dismissed.
A local affiliate here, KRQE, says they spoke with Saeed's family, his daughter, telling them that she does not believe the accusations against her father. TJ?
All right, Alex, thank you so much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Ukraine claims major attack on Russia airbase. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Earn your degree faster at Purdue University Global. With over 175 online programs.
possible new front in the war in Ukraine. Explosions rocked a major Russian airbase in Crimea, which is legally part of Ukraine, but Russia considers it to be part of its territory. Britt Clinton is in Ukraine with more.
This morning, a brazen attack on a Russian airbase in Crimea. These verified videos circulating online shows 2 massive explosions and beachgoers running for cover as a cloud of smoke pours into the sky in the distance. This video, also circulating online and verified by ABC News, shows the aftermath of the blasts. Russia claims the explosions were munitions that blew up at the base. But a source confirming to ABC News that Ukraine was responsible for the strike, the first time Ukraine has attacked the territory since the invasion began.
Surely it's a shock to Putin and an embarrassment to Putin and the Russian military that the Ukrainians were able to strike so deep into the Russian rear areas to take out these airplanes and all of the ammunition that we saw go up in these massive explosions.
Russia has warned any attack on Crimea would be a major escalation in the war, and Ukraine would face serious consequences.
And George, on top of this, fears of a nuclear catastrophe over fighting at the Zaporizhzhia plant. I'm in Chernobyl, the site of the world's worst nuclear disaster. It's deserted, it's eerie, and it's a reminder of what can happen when things go wrong. George?
Britt, thanks very much. Well, hey there, G.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we are going to switch gears now, and let's go into weather. Let's take a look at the weather across the United States for this Wednesday. In Boston, it'll be 73 degrees. New York City, 86 degrees. Washington, D.C., 91 degrees. Atlanta, 80 degrees. Jacksonville, Florida, 92 degrees. Tampa Bay, Florida, 93 degrees. And Miami, Florida, 89 degrees. In Dallas, Texas, 100 degrees. Wow. Phoenix, 102 degrees. Wow. Los Angeles, 92 degrees. Las Vegas, 96 degrees. And San Francisco, 72 degrees. That is a look at the weather across the United States for this Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everyone. And now, let's take a look at this. Mother-daughter pilot duo make history with Southwest Airlines. Let's take a look at this video.
Turn now to a history-making mother-daughter pair we introduced you to last week. The first in Southwest Airlines history to pilot a flight together. Now, proud mom, Captain Holly Pettit, check her out making the announcement.
Today is a really special day for me. I would like to introduce to you your first officer, a brand new member of the Southwest team of pilots, and my daughter, Keely Pettit. Keely, come on out here.
She's going to run out and take the stage there. Yes, Mom Holly and her co-pilot daughter, Keely Pettit, join us now from a cockpit simulator at an airline training facility in Dallas. Ladies, good morning to you both. And Mom, what was that moment? You seemed to be very professional in that moment, but there had to be a lot going on when you were making that announcement.
Good morning. It was exhilarating. I had dreamt of that moment since Keely took her first flight lesson. So for it to be there, for the audience, the incredible passengers to react and cheer for us like that, it was absolutely exhilarating.
Yeah, we could hear those passengers roaring applause for you. Keely, what was it like for you to turn that corner there, come out of that door into that plane and have your mom make that announcement?
It was so much fun, and it was so much fun to get to just see everyone and feel the love. We were just so grateful for that moment and that we got to share it with all 170 passengers on board.
Keely, how about the flight itself? Nervous?
A little bit. Mostly just so excited, though. I had been dreaming of this flight for so long, so it was just a dream come true, and it exceeded all of my expectations beyond what I thought it would be. So it was absolutely incredible.
And Holly, it must have been something to turn to your right and see your co-pilot, your daughter.
Absolutely. It was my favorite moment in time was when it was her turn to fly. I just looked over at her operating this giant Boeing 737 jet aircraft at the controls. It was surreal, and I just looked at her with complete awe and adoration.
Did you coach her a little bit too? Like, do you have her entire life to do it this way, do it that way, or just let her do her thing?
I just let her do her thing. She's a little rock star.
Thanks, Mom.
You know, your little rock star. Can you explain this picture to us, Holly? I think it's been making the rounds, but this is you and your 3 kids. I don't know which one she is in the picture, but tell us what's going on in this picture. And you said this was a big moment for you.
Yes, very big moment. So Keely is the one sitting on my lap, and I started my career as a flight attendant and got to sit on the jump seat during a ferry flight. So with 3 kids under the age of 4, I took my first flight lesson, and that's what that picture is all about. Both my husband at the time and I worked full time, so we had to balance it all. So I would take my mom and 3 kids on my training flights and flights to build time so that I could work towards my dream of being at Southwest Airlines.
Keely, I gotta ask you, when you're there in the cockpit together on that flight with your mom, do you call her mom?
Yeah, so there's actually kind of a funny story. I was looking for her after doing the pre-flight walk around, and I walked up to an ops agent and I said, "Have you seen my mom?" And it was so funny. She laughed and she said, "You know, it's not every day you get to say that at work." So that'll take some practice calling her Captain Pettit.
Captain Pettit. When did you realize that you wanted to do this, Keely?
When I was 14, my mom got me an introduction flight for Christmas, and I went up and I just absolutely fell in love with it. And having grown up watching her love her career and love working for Southwest, I knew immediately not only that I wanted to fly, but that I wanted to fly for Southwest as well. So ever since I was 14, this has been my dream.
Well, thank you both for sharing this story. It's a feel-good story. We can use more and more of these every day. So mom and daughter, captain and co-pilot, whatever you all want to go by. It's good to see you both. We'll see you on the flight down the road, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right.
Well, hey there, GM.
Okay, there you go. Very awesome story there. And we are going to switch gears now, and let's go into entertainment news. And in your entertainment news today, Janet McCurdy hopes Ariana Grande reads her memoir. Exclusive. Let's take a listen to that video from Entertainment Tonight.
Our son was born with cerebral palsy. We know what the healthcare industry is like. So I passed a ban on surprise medical billing and fought to lower drug costs. Because this affects every family, and every family deserves better.
I've seen the headlines. I'm aware that they're out there. I said exactly what I want to say in the book. I frequently make the mistake of comparing my career to Ariana's. I can't help it.
Jeanette claims Ariana was allowed to regularly miss work on the iCarly spinoff Sam and Cat to pursue her career as a pop star. She says the show's writers once explained Ariana's absence by locking her character in a box.
Hey, can I have some more juice?
Yeah, sure. Ariana misses work in pursuit of her music career, while I act with a box. I'm pissed about it. And I'm pissed at her. Jealous of her.
It's great to work on a show where everybody gets along. Jeanette is like the sweetest.
But the moment that broke Jeanette, when Ariana came to set the day after a game night playing charades at Tom Hanks' house.
I couldn't take it anymore. From that moment on, I didn't like her. I couldn't like her.
Did you send Ariana a copy of the book? Did you give her a heads up? Are you expecting to hear from her?
I don't know. I don't know if she'll read the book or not, but I think it's a really entertaining read, regardless of who you are. So I hope she does.
Yeah. Hey, maybe Tom Hanks will get a heads up about the charades thing.
Fingers
and he'll
crossed.
want to play charades with you.
Fingers crossed. I would love to play charades with Tom Hanks. That would be amazing.
But Jeanette's tell-all memoir, out today, also contains some disturbing stories of abuse at the hands of her mom. The now 30-year-old says her mom calorie counted her food, triggering an eating disorder, and gave her showers until she was a teenager. Her mom died from cancer in 2013. Since then, Jeanette's had years of therapy. Where are you in the world of your recovery now?
I consider myself fully recovered from eating disorders. I believe that recovery is possible. I think it's really hard work. It can be really challenging at times, but I think that it's worth all of that work. And I hope that I can set some sort of example for anybody who might be struggling now that recovery is possible.
Loved reading about your friendship with Miranda Cosgrove. What impact has her friendship had on your life? What does she mean to you?
Oh my God, I love Miranda to pieces. I always will. She has such a special place in my heart. She helped me grow as a person and heal as a person. And I hope I did the same for her. And I just love her so much.
And this is Is there any chance that acting could be in your future again?
I'm shocked to be saying, it shocked myself. Like have you ever had one of those thoughts where it's like, oh, where did that come from? Why is this happening? I had that I want to say a couple months back, where I thought, you know what, there might be a way for me to act from a place that feels really healing and empowered. Maybe I write something for myself. I don't know what that looks like. I haven't gone that far. Definitely want to focus on writing and directing, but I'm open to the idea of acting, which feels like growth to me because I had walked away from it so definitively in my past, which felt important to me at the time.
Right.
But I'm just at a different place now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this Wednesday edition of The Morning Show with Riley King. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Goodbye.